Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the East Asia monthly final grand finals. So we have Navi versus Zeta division. Zeta just absolutely wiped the floor with Crazy Raccoon, which a lot of people had Crazy Raccoon winning, even after Zeta doing a really good performance in the last monthly finals. After watching some practices, scrims, the data, etc., I thought Crazy Raccoon looked good, but to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it was just a complete team difference. We'll have to wait and see towards the latter end of the year. But the draft also just looked terrible. They were just leaving like Olia open without clearly like countering them whatsoever. They also lost twice against Hank. Maybe I can do that on the second channel if you want me to go dive into that game. But here we have Navi versus Zeta division. So I missed the first semi-final, Navi versus Reject, I believe. Of course, Navi winning that, which is actually a bit of a surprise. But here we have out in the open. So we can see all of the bands on the screen. We see the Grey last pick. I'm quite surprised Grey was picked so late on in the draft, which is pretty interesting. Again, I was just really confused by the Mets. Wait, they've got 3 long-range brawlers against it. I mean, to be honest, I like Zeta's comp a lot better. Unless the Grey can really do a lot on this map. I don't know why they went. Was Nani banned? Nani should have been played surely against 3 snipers, right? But yeah, as I was saying, I was just really surprised by the drafts from Zeta. They went like Hank twice and it worked, which is just wild to me. Yeah, I don't know. It just, Crazy Raccoon just seemed to not be able to counter what Zeta have up their sleeves. Last month it was Shade. This month it was Hank. Now Hank's not exactly like this broken brawl in the meta, unless of course this is an untouched potential, because again I'm not really seeing him in, you know, in EU scrims as much. But again, he might be underrated. I always said that Hank isn't a terrible brawler, but anyway, so enough about Hank. We want to talk about him as much as possible. Of course we do. Right, Squeak is a really good brawler in Knockout. I do like Squeak. Gene as well. Gene doesn't have like any crazy matchups, but at the same time, all 3 brawlers he should just be able to pull pretty safely and chip down. It's going to be pretty tough for a Charpe to get within range here. Is he using... Okay, he's using Piano Gadget, which personally, I don't know. I just don't really rate too much, just because Walking Cane is like a free supercharge, and it's also a free kill a lot of time. But Navi, they're winning the first round this time. Imagine if Navi win this after everything. So Charpe, he's not really done the most the last 2 years, right? I know a world final winner. Wait, I think he's won 2 world finals, right? If I'm correct, yeah, that should be correct. Should be respected a lot better. But the past couple of years, he's not really achieved what is obviously set out to achieve. Like both, I think he lost in both LCQs, if I'm correct, which again, by his standards, isn't completely the best. He's got Corona's team as well. Like, he's got a really solid team, but has not really done much the past few years. I think he was on a team with Levi. Was Levi last year? I can't remember. I'm completely lost. It's too early in the morning for me. But yeah, Levi's always had some really good potential. So I'm glad that Zeta are starting to pick things up. Again, at the beginning of the year, you would have thought, well, the roster of... Wait, Chopper's got super hit. Should be able to get the kill onto Brock. He's going to get traded out, though. Okay, just get 1 shot extra. It's going to be the kill onto Saitampo, surely. Okay, somehow he stays alive with a pop of the hypercharge. I really thought he's going to get that. Oh, that was so incredibly close and really clutch from Saitampo. What was I waffling about? What was I waffling about? I can't remember at this point in time. I just completely waffled. Oh, yeah. I was going to say that last year's roster of Crazy Raccoon, with 2 of the members staying on the same team, you would have thought that would have been a stronger roster overall, right? Because East Asia last year, other than that team, just didn't really perform well at all, in my opinion. At World Finals, one of their rosters that just didn't rival, I don't think were the greatest. And then also, of course, in LCQ, big disappointment. So I'm just surprised by how well Zeta have been showing up. Fair dues, fair big props to them. All right, so now, in terms of draft, we can see here, like, again, I just think Grey doesn't have as much presence, because what you do with Walking... Like, I get he wants to break open this grass bit here, right? But at the same time, it's like you have no presence. You want to walk up here. Well, Brock, he knows he has to get free tapped. Like, he has to get free tapped, and by that time, your teammate's going to come back and support you. So, Hypercharge's going to be popped here. I don't think it's going to be enough. Zeta are going to win this one easily. Yeah, 3 versus 1 right here. Again, I don't understand the Grey without Walking Cane. I just don't get it. Again, like, Yeah, he wants to open up the map, but it's Walking Cane. It's so good into 3 snipers. And now you're just going to get heavily outranged the entire time. You're not going to be able to... If you get a kill, you're not be able to get out again. But at least with Walking Cane, you can quickly, like... You know, you can pull them across the map. You can... Like, it's the best gadget in the game, pretty much. And they're using Grand Piano. I just don't like it whatsoever. Like, Gray without Walking Cane is such a mid-brawler. He's not good. The reason why Gray's good is because of that gadget, right? Who agrees with me? Please, someone agree with me. So, yeah, in a 1v1, like, you can push up, you know, he's got Grand Piano. What is Bro gonna do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. To be fair, I don't even know how he got that first super. I think it's a gas closes in. That's the only chance he has to get super. But with 3 really good mechanically gifted players playing snipers, I don't really see how they get within distance here. So, again, Zeta gonna push them all the way back. They've got some good controls so far. Tampo again just destroying the Sharpie down the lane, but again it's Bell into Gray. Of course he's going to have a really good matchup. Does get the mark onto him as well. Pretty nice overall. Squeak does miss the gadget. Another Grand Piano in the middle, but it doesn't really matter too much, right? Because the 3 snipers, I don't really need the grass. I haven't really got any like mechanics like a Pell Gat. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need to be sneaking around like that. So good Brock super there. It's going to kill the Squeak, and that's going to be another kill. So from my predictions, from what I thought, especially coming into this, I thought Zeta would get a 3-0 sweep, and then that first round to kind of maybe give a bit of hope to Navi. But again, Zeta just look too clean at the moment. Their drafts have been absolutely impeccable. What a beautiful English word. And Tampa's going to just run forward with his hypercharge here. He's just absolutely different, this guy. This is why he's the best player in the world. And tapping like crazy. Give him a brawler like Bell. He's going to do absolute wonders. So again, they can just kind of wait for the final bit here. Sharpie's going to rush in. Oh, I thought he was going to get taken down there. 32 HP. That was incredibly lucky there from a Sharpie. And again, the no Walking Cane, it's just evident. I know these are the pro players and they're better than me. But I know there's probably a strategy that they've scrimmed, but I still see, like, it's black and white here. It's just so obvious. You have nothing about you without the Walking Cane gadget. You may as well go a different wall break brawler. Maybe, I don't know, like a Pearl or just something that has a wall break round 2 or 3, right? Surely, like round 2 or 3, like the first round, yeah, you're going to get spawn trap. But if you get a brawler that has a wall breaking super for round 2, round 3, even like a nanny peep sometimes to break open that bit, it's way better than a Gray with that gadget. I just don't understand it. So that's set number 1. Go into Zeta. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, jumping into the next set, we've got Hot Zone Ring of Fire. So let's take a look at the pick straight away. So a Byron pick already to make me feel a bit uneasy on their side just because he isn't the most meta brawler. Also, Bella early on is pretty good. Buster, like, I think the Chester is a decent pick, though, to be fair. We see the ban, so a Charlie ban is pretty interesting. We've seen a bit of Charlie in the last game, Crazy Raccoon versus Zeta, and it didn't really work out that well, in my opinion. I mean, Charlie, I only started to use Charlie in ranked in, like, Brawl Hockey, and then really, if the opponents had, like, a B and, I don't know, B and a Stew, or a Meeple in particular. So, I don't know, I don't understand the Charlie ban if the Meeple's banned. So, they go with a Lou last pick here into the Hank. I think the Zeta composition is surely better. Like, Lou into a Hank is just too much control. Bell is great at just controlling his own better than Byron. We'll see. So I think Hank's probably a bit forced here. I think Hank, if you're going to pick him, it's going to be either late on in the draft as a last pick on a map with a lot of walls, or I've seen some teams just pick him really early in the draft and just make the draft really messy. But it's clear that they've got a great counter here. We'll see. The Hank, I do appreciate the Hank, though. If East Asia go Hank, normally it's a lot better a brawler than people realize. So here against the Lou, he's just trying not to feed the Lou super, which is fair enough. But yeah, overall, the Bell's just going to give him more control because of the Bell traps in the middle, right? Chester as well. I feel like Chester needs to try and sneak in this grass and push forward, or just stand a Buster as much as possible. He's going to get pulled in, just get taken down both from Kuru, and then Levi's probably going to get taken down as well. Side Tampo is weak as well. I mean, Kuru's doing a really good job in the middle. Gets another kill onto Side Tampo. The super as well, just missing out. Those loose supers are always crucial, by the way, because they can always just slightly get a bit of percentage on the zone. Buster's going to be going or trying to get onto a chop here. Just get the pull onto the Hank. You know what? Buster isn't like the complete worst in tank as well from what I've realized. Just because of that gadget can interrupt Hank's bubble and it's just pretty annoying. Like I remember in ranked a few times I've been playing like Hank in layer cake against the Buster and it's just so annoying to face off against. So yeah, a bit of control now going the way of Zeta. Again, like Suzuku's doing such a good job against what a Chester. Like a Chester should be getting a lot more value into a Buster in my opinion. Should be farming a lot of supers from this. So he's going to go in aggro here. Unfortunately, he's got the bad super for him though. He's going to try and get the takedown onto Levi. Levi's going to eventually go down. That's why the Buster's just getting such clutch kills every single time. That new Buster skin as well. Pretty cool. Going to get taken down again, but it's still just the eventual like just getting time on the zone, and Navi just aren't staying on the zone longer. Either like one of the like Hank or Chester's got to stay in the middle, right? I don't think Chester should be the one flanking in my opinion, and Hank should just be the one taking all of the damage. So that's the hypercharge going to go down from Lou. A lot of good taps here from the Byron. Another good super onto the Buster. That's going to stop his health regen, I believe, if he's using that one. I think he is. The hypercharge coming down from Suzuki. He's going to get a pull in onto the Chester. Have got some good taps again. Like Byron, like Kuru's playing really well on Byron, but I just don't think it's really doing enough. Chester hypercharge soon though. This could be pretty vital for the win. Problem is though, he's getting completely pinched in. Buster's going to work his way onto a zone. The hypercharge missed again. I keep seeing these hypercharge misses from Chester's and it just seems to fall against them. Kuru again doing a great job with a Byron, somehow not going down with a hypercharge. This might be looking good for Navi, as I just said that, completely jinxed. 20 seconds left on the clock. Some good, really good like Byron taps here. They're absolutely insane. He's doing such a good job. His teammates really need to help out Kuru here. Come on, he's doing a 1 versus 3 at this point with a Byron. Small time left, another loose super. 12 seconds. Can he keep the heals onto him? The double heal here. The hype charge coming in. There's so much going down. All three of them so incredibly weak, and you've got to feel bad for Kuru. You really have. Surely that's winnable, right? Surely that's winnable. The Buster was just getting too much time in the middle of the game, and they just kind of let him run up for no reason. Even though, like, Hank can shoot over the Buster, right? I'm pretty sure. Oh, that was pretty concerning. And also, it's just a loose supers. Like, you just get free control with these loose supers from the Hank. It's a bit crazy. And I'm kind of unsure why Lou was actually not drafted earlier on. Like, surely even Lou's better than a Chester on this map. Like, I know Chester's good, but Lou just serves the same purpose, but then he gets a free control super. I don't know if Levi, like, slightly disconnected there or something, but a really good start again from Zeta here. They're going to get some good percentages. I mean, Byron's going to get some good taps here, of course. Any type of mid brawler is going to be countering Lou in a complete 1 versus 1. So here, the Lou's going to go onto the Hank. There's some really good coordination from Zeta. I think the Sharp's going to get a kill onto Saitampo there. Does pretty well. He's also going to walk into the Lou super, so he gets frozen, so he can actually deal some damage again. Some good zone time there. Eventually getting chipped down. Kuru's trying his best. Gets the kill onto Levi. Good super onto Suzuku as well. So that's going to stops his health regen. Nice. All right, so what Zeta are kind of doing here, they're kind of just floating around in this mid bush, making sure no one's kind of sneaking in, and then once they get the supers, they then push forward. So Buster's going to push forward here. Hypercharge going to be coming in from Levi pretty soon. So Tampa again just waiting for the Hank, which is pretty clever. It's kind of up to Navi here to try and push into them. Hypercharge coming down. He's going to use it onto Kuro. Okay, he's going to get taken down by the Byron poison. Saitama's going to cycle himself into the zone. It's just really like small but nice play here from Zeta. I mean, that was a good kill, to be fair. Now the Hank's going to get some good value. Nearly gets his hypercharge off. And I just don't see a world where Zeta lose here. Really good hypercharge super, though. Like, completely jinxed it. Gets a double kill with a poison cloud, which is just completely busted. He needs to try and work his way in here. I reckon he's got a really terrible... Oh, no, he's got that super there. That's going to be the kill onto Buster. Here we go. Navi might have a chance here. I thought that was completely over. And then that hypercharge Chester super just completely saving them. Still got a bit of time. They've got a hypercharge Buster super that's going to help out a little bit. It's going to allow them just to charge forward here. Gets the kill onto Chester somehow. It's crazy the amount of damage that Buster does up close. Like, he can win those 1 versus 1s, even against those tank counters. Some good jukes here from Levi here. Sharp is trying to get some good pressure here. Needs to try and get a bit onto Saitampo. Here we go. The heals coming down with a super as well. The gadget's going to confirm them the kill. Sharpie's going to get some good value, but still they're just getting onto the zone more effectively, and 1% is all that's in it. And you got to feel bad for Navi. You've really got to feel bad for them, because how did they not win both of those sets? They could have easily won both of their sets there, but not Navi just barely missing out, and Zeta just Zeta, like, just inevitable at this point. Every Zeta roster just seems to have this kind of aura or just some black magic about them. Right, that's set number 2. I'm hoping for a bit of a stronger game here. Let's jump into the next set. All right, guys, jumping into potentially the final game here. So the Hank first pick, which I somewhat agree with considering how this monthly final has gone, especially on a map like Super Peach. Again, this map isn't in ranked for whatever reason. I don't know why the BSC maps don't follow the ranked maps. I don't know why they do this. I guess they want to, like, I should just make a video on that with ranked, right? Ranked should pretty much mirror what competitive it is. It's like this with every other esport, if I'm not mistaken, right? In every other game that I've played. But for Brawl Stars, I don't know what they're really doing. They're trying to test out other maps or whatever else, but I don't. Maybe they need to make it so I think there's 3 maps that they have, right, in BSC per game mode. I think it's 3 or 4, but anyways, if it was 3, for example, maybe 1 extra map should just be like a trial map that isn't in BSC. That's about it. I don't know how the BSC maps aren't in the ranked one, because how as a viewer are you supposed to, like, connect the two? And it just doesn't make sense, right? Enough waffling from me. It's been like this for months. Charlie. So Charlie, personally, I don't like the Charlie this much. For them to go it this consistently, I don't know. It's not really the same for me. Charlie, again, I only really use it for the spiders to counter those single shot brawlers. Maybe it's a bit of a better brawler than we're giving it credit for, considering how much they're drafting it. But again, the East Asia draft has always been a little bit worse than other regions, in my opinion. It's just normally the mechanics that get them to where they're at. The Ash, though, is pretty interesting, especially from East Asia. And then the Shade. This is so messy. Considering the meta I'm used to, I thought it was a lot more control-based, but it's still a lot of tanks, right? So we see the Shade, we see the Hanks. Surely this is a Primo game. This is maybe a Jackie game. I don't know. There's a lot here. I think in Primo. Let's see what he's going to pick. I'm trying. Oh, Jackie. There we go. See? I know my maths, guys. I know my brawler matchups. I might not know how to I might not know how to draft completely, but when I see a certain composition and last pick, that's where I thrive. Jackie was obvious, right? Jackie really good into both of these. You've got, like, the super to pull Shade in. Hank takes a long time to kill with Jackie, and of course, if once Jackie gets the hypercharge, you can interrupt Hank's bubble and get an easy goal. So yeah, I think Zeta clearly have the composition here. You've also got Ash. Ash is, you know, okay into Hank, and then okay into Shade. Shade's going to get a load of supers here. This is the problem. Like, Shade at low-key is actually good into tanks because you're going to farm so many supers time and time again. Saitampo gets the goal that quickly. What just even happened there? I wasn't even paying attention to his lane. How did he just quickly get a super like that and then score? That was insane. Also, I've been realizing, I don't know if Saitampo's using it, a lot of pros are actually using the Hardy Hard Hat star power with Jackie, especially in a more tougher matchup because you don't need that extra DPS. Saitampo's going to go for it. That was kind of crazy. As we popped the hype charge super, that's just how confident he is in a 1 versus 3 setting. Most players, you'll be like, okay, that's just a really dumb decision. Because it's Saitampo, I'm like, I respect that. That is aura. That's crazy to the glades to Saitampo. Okay, sorry guys, I'm sorry. All right, so it looked like they're trying to swap the matchup here. Yeah, Jackie against Shade definitely makes more sense. That's probably why they picked the Jackie. Okay, Char picks up the hypercharge here. I mean, the Ash hypercharge is going to be doing nothing into a Hank, but it does still get some good damage. So double tap onto the Shade. Charpy's having to pop hypercharge here. He's going to have to use it pretty soon, and then just completely leaves the goal open. And Zeta are now on match point. What am I even going to title this video? Also, I'm going to be doing a Brawl Talk breakdown as well today. So we get a double upload. So it's going to be like the easiest sweep of all time. But I can't really put the scoreline in the title. I don't know. Maybe Navi do the craziest reverse sweep of all time. But Saitampo here just running on in. Suzuki gets a kill onto Shade, just get traded out, but now Jackie's fully healed up and the super to hand. I just don't know how he doesn't score this. And wow, this is crazy from Zeta. They look so dominant in this region. Not even Crazy Raccoon. That should have been the final, right? The 2 strongest team in this region are Crazy Raccoon and say Navi there, and Zeta. And if Zeta are 3-0 with Navi and Crazy Raccoon, where is their competition? There isn't. there isn't competition at this moment in time. And there goes the kill, there goes the double kill, and that's going to be the whole game going to Zeta. Crazy. I mean, the drafts were just impeccable, to be honest. Like I called, they looked so incredibly good. They've obviously gone to the training ground there in draft, which I really do respect, because in this type of era, you do need to be really good at drafting to win. But it's also just the mechanics. Like, they were just playing it so clean, and there we go again. So I kind of jinxed Zeta after predicting Crazy Raccoon again. They have absolutely insane aura, and yeah, they're completely back. Big respect to these guys. I'm going to be going to the Brawl Cup, and they've qualified for the Brawl Cup, so hopefully get to see them in person. But they look scary dangerous. I'm excited to see how they get on a global setting against the other regions in the Brawl Cup next month. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Not really a ton of analysis there, except for just Zeta just being Zeta and completely dominating. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to check out my video later today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.